Tired of hearing me say them? Okay, be tired because we're going to keep saying them over and over and over because our job is to make sure everybody is safe. And that's what we're going to stay here. We've been on the air for hours. We'll stay on the hour or the air for however many hours it takes. Here comes that tornadic thunderstorm out of Lancaster. It will eventually move toward Richmond. So Richmond, tornado sirens are probably going off again. And no, it's not an old siren for a prior tornado warning. This is a brand new tornado warning. Gary County, tornado sirens are probably going off again. Berea, probably going off again. You may even be hearing those into Clark County, but it is for the far southern tip of Clark County as of now. And you look at these storms, and Jim, these are going to produce some flooding as well because they're just lined up and they're not moving now to the south. Those are just lined up going southwest to northeast. Potent thunderstorm here into Moorhead. That has a severe thunderstorm with it. I see a new tornado warning now that is out for, it looks like Monroe County and it's like Clinton County, I believe, that is coming out of the Nashville area. That's with that same complex of storms heading toward Burkesville and lifting its way to the northeast. So Russell Springs down toward Monticello, we're watching this for you because that's coming northeast to or southwest to northeast on top of you. Heavy rain across the Lexington metro. Listen, Lexington, Frankfort, Georgetown, just a lot of heavy rain right now, but the front is still to the west of us. Can't completely say we're done with severe weather in Lexington. That's, again, until that front cleans up the sky later this morning. We're in the thick of it still, or at least the potential. But this is the concerning part where you have a couple of kinks that are showing up within this line of thunderstorms. What do we mean by kinks? We can stop this and we can inspect this line to look inside of it. We're looking for winds that are going in opposite direction. So it's like, how do you spin a top on a table? You do that, right? Or you just give it a spin. Same thing that we're looking at in the atmosphere, but this time with winds. It's disjointed, but again, when you're talking about a line like this, just those little bit of a kink from time to time that can produce a quick tornado spin up, like what happened a few nights ago in Stamping Ground. It was along a little bit of a line that had a little kink, and this is why they put out this warning. I see what maybe a couple of competing little spins here, Jim, into Garrett County and northern Lincoln County. So when you see those little competing spins, at least that's keeping it from becoming one major potential tornado, like what we have seen earlier into western Kentucky. But the leading edge of this, southerly winds are just being pulled into this thing. I mean, a tremendous southerly flow that has you thinking, this cannot be December. It is a March setup. I've said it all week on air. I've said this looks like March, a March severe weather or tornado outbreak. And unfortunately, it's behaved that way. New severe thunderstorm warning, Estill, Menifee, Montgomery,
replaces the tornado
Morgan,
warning.
Powell, and Wolf.
Yep.
So the tornado warning that was out with this storm is being replaced by this severe thunderstorm warning, which right now seems more prudent because we're not seeing a whole lot of rotation with those storms that are on that have prompted those tornado warnings. But I get it. We're better safe than sorry at this point. These storms have had a history of producing spins, tornadoes, devastation. As Governor Beshear was on just a little bit ago, talking about at least 50 fatalities tonight, folks, from these tornadoes in western Kentucky. And to be honest with you, and looking at the damage, I mean, that may double tonight or after daybreak. I mean, it's heartbreaking when you see the devastation. It was heartbreaking looking at the radar. Before that storm got to Mayfield, before that storm moved into Bowling Green, you just get this sinking feeling because you know when you're looking at a radar and there ain't a thing you can do about it. I mean, you can fire off tweets, seek shelter now. You can't reach everybody, unfortunately, and that's outside of our TV area. And I know the folks down there in Bowling Green and in western Kentucky, the TV folks, the National Weather Service folks, emergency managers, everybody has been doing their best to try to save lives tonight. And so, unfortunately, we lost a lot of folks into western Kentucky on the night. Now we just got to watch the rest of these storms tonight to say, okay, let's try not to lose anybody else, and we will see what these storms do. But we want you guys to pay attention. listen, if you want to watch somebody else, have at it. As long as they're going to give you the information you need to stay alive and to survive the storms that are out there, okay, have at it, because that's all we care about. So we're looking at this tornado warning, and again, Jim, this is pretty disjointed.
It is. That's why I was
coming
just
out
looking
of
at that.
Garrett County,
Wow.
and I can imagine looking in that on radar. The signature just in the reflectivity here is not impressive, and it's linear. And you're looking in that. Can you find the circulation there?
I can't find it.
There could be little just
Right.
competing small little things, but anytime you got a bunch of small little competing circulations, chances are you're not going to see a whole lot. Fingers crossed that doesn't tighten up. But as of now, that is not the case. But you still need to be in that shelter, Garrett County, into Madison County especially. So I think we're okay now into Lincoln County, but into Garrett County and across Madison County from Richmond down to Berea. And that Jim, looks like it actually may hug that northern extent as well. So that part of the warning that earlier I thought, well, maybe not. Now that may hug the more northern part.
That's the way it's looking. You're right. Absolutely.
Because everything is checked up. It's no longer moving farther to the south.
And speaking of south, we're going to continue to monitor what's happening from our southern skies as it could start
Yeah.
spilling over with more tornado warnings in our area from the storms that were in Nashville. Oh, about an hour ago, I guess. They were probably in Nashville, maybe less than that. That's how fast these have been moving. And that last tornado warning that we had issued for our area was traveling at about 70 miles per hour. Most of these have been going anywhere from 55 to 65 and now 70 miles per hour throughout the day today. That's what kind of a day it has been out there with some of the storms that have developed. And so Madison County right now, getting into Garrett County, going over toward the folks there in Estill County, all lining up with not only the severe weather threat, but also that very heavy rain. So flooding, flash flooding also becoming a concern. Folks going to be traveling out there before the sun comes up. And the sun, we still have plenty of time before that happens. And I'm afraid that's going to reveal a lot more, as it always does on these severe weather nights, Chris.
Yeah,
that next sunrise is always difficult.
You know, and the concerning part, Jim, is, as you mentioned, that, you know, it's always after the sun comes up that you learn the true magnitude of something. And if we're already knowing the magnitude in parts of western Kentucky, it's, you know, it's going to be a whole lot worse after the sun comes up.
Just what we've seen here with the nighttime shots and the nighttime information. It's going to be awful more, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it is. And so what we're left to do right now is, again, try to keep as many people safe as we can. And that's what we're here for. And this tornado warning is still out. The worst of this storm is now out of Lancaster. Lincoln County, we're okay. This storm into Garrett County, it's right on top of the Paint Lick area, essentially, which is very close to Madison County. And this is going to roll its way toward Richmond on the south side of town, especially on the southern end of the bypass here, and very close to the campus of EKU. So if we are getting a weak tornado spin with it, it would be right about the Paint Lick area, but along 52, heading to the northeast. I can't imagine that there is a major spin with this, but Jim, all it takes is that little bit of a quick spin up. What happened in Franklin County and Scott County Sunday night into Monday morning? It was a weak spin.
Right.
And, you know, it hurt a lot of people. It hurt some people. And
it did.
Devastated, rolled several mobile homes.
You know, I was on the air that morning with them there.
That's right.
And the characteristics were just not off the chart strong.
No, not at all. And it still produced some weak tornadoes. Right. And you know, and I can imagine in a setup like this too. Those came without warnings on Sunday night. So Weather Service, kudos. You know, you guys are ahead of the game tonight, and we're getting everything out in ample time for folks, and making sure that we don't even miss some of the smaller ones this go around. So kudos on that one, and that's what we like to see. So that severe thunderstorm warning now extends farther to the northeast. So that was originally a tornado warning. That has now been replaced by a severe thunderstorm warning. And if you just look now, the lightning is decreasing a little bit. It's good news, because when you see the lightning decrease, it means the storm intensity is likely coming down a little bit. But how many times have we said that tonight? We've said it a few times. So these storms cycle. They pulse, and they go strong or severe, they weaken. They go strong or severe, and they weaken. So we're again watching this. I've had no reports of tornadoes with this, and this again is heading, at least the worst of this, Jim, to the just to the south of downtown Richmond.
I'll go a little closer so we can see it.
Yeah, let's go in and let's
get there
put it
right
in
up on
perspective with the city and Richmond Center. Folks who live over near Lake Reaver right now, boy, the sirens, I can imagine they're blaring, what, third time in the past 2 hours? So here's Richmond Center, here's Lake Reaver, here's Richmond, here's the bypass, and most of this is just to the south of us. So it's right on top of Interstate 75. Worst, again, bypassing downtown Richmond to our south. And again, that's going to head over toward Estill County coming up here very shortly. So folks in Madison County, how long have we been in our basements? Maybe we came out for 2 minutes from time to time, and now we're back in it. You're back in your storm shelter. And again, kids, told you guys, we're going to get through this, okay? Put on those helmets. I want to see you guys wearing those helmets. I want to see you wearing those hard hats, whatever. I want to see you with a pillow over your head right now. And we're going to get in there. Crank us up if you're streaming us. We'll talk to you. We'll talk you through this. This is right on top of Silver Creek. That's right on 52, and that is rolling its way. This is the Paint Lick area, Garrett County. So now this storm is out of Garrett County. And, Jim, this is firmly into Madison County. But it's losing the cloud-to-ground lightning. And I heard some, there you go. The back edge is now chopped off on that tornado warning that goes a little farther to the northeast. Goes to the Estill County line, essentially, is where this warning goes. And then you got a severe thunderstorm warning ahead of that for a prior storm that was out there. So, and that has been pushed to the northeast. So again, Madison County with that tornado warning, and you see it flashing because we just got an update on it. The back edge was taken away. Downtown Richmond, the worst of this is to the south of us. That's ready to cross over Interstate 75 here right now. Jim, if we could pull up the velocities, we'll look inside this. Velocities, folks, we say that's fancy term for us saying, let's look at the winds inside of this storm and see what we got. Now, we got a little hot spot here of some stronger winds that are right on top of 75. So even though this may not be producing a tornado, chances are it's producing some winds that are gusting 50 miles an hour or greater to the south of Richmond. Here's the little, see the bright spot there? That is the radar saying, hey, this has got some big time winds now east of 75. And you don't see a whole lot coming in for true rotation or spin with that as of right now. But again, we're staying in our basements or storm shelters until this warning is either canceled or is allowed to expire, which may still be just a little bit. That goes until what, 6 o'clock? So we got 20 more minutes technically in that.
Plenty of time left on it, yeah. Plenty of time left on it. Then, after that one, then you have to start watching these others. Well, how are they going to interact with some of our southern Kentucky counties, with the ones that have been rolling in out of Tennessee? I mean, we already have a tornado warning just over the border from Wayne County. I mean, it's right there,
Yeah.
So,
let's zoom in. Let's see, Jim. Zoom in about right in here.
Right in there.
Adair County. It's kind of on the northern edge of a little bit of a bow there. And I was looking at our radar off camera. And we'll look in and see if we can find some spin here, because there was a little, maybe just a little bit of spin I was noticing.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah, there's some
right there. And again, heading toward Campbellsville, Taylor County again. So right here, it's broad, but there is just a little spin that may get into northern Adair County, southern parts of Taylor County. So this is, I believe, Greene County, I think, that it's coming out of. And that is working its way across southern parts of Taylor County here very, very shortly. In Taylor County, we got a weather watcher down there, and he was reporting a lot of damage in Taylor County. Taylor County, that storm that moved into Taylor County had some very strong rotation with it. It was producing a likely tornado. So Taylor County may be one of those underreported counties right now in terms of the damage and the extent of the damage. And then that weakened the farther it got into Casey County or into Marion County and then into the Boyle County area. But we do have a severe thunderstorm warning that is out for that. Hey, Adair County, southern Taylor County, we'll watch that for you guys as it continues to work its way to the northeast. Still got that tornado warning around Burkesville. That's a storm that is now heading toward the northeast. Russell County, Lake Cumberland, Russell Springs, Jamestown. We're watching the storm. It is heading in your general direction. We're still okay into Monticello, Somerset, London, Corbin, Williamsburg. I say we're still okay for now. Look at this monster of a storm that is coming out of northern Tennessee. Tornado warning is out for that. Gets right up to the Kentucky and Tennessee border. And that will eventually cross the border into Wayne County, into Clinton, Cumberland counties, and maybe toward Whitley City. That's McCreary County. Then you got Whitley County. That is Williamsburg. So watching a lot of action, Jim, that goes across the entire region now from north to south. And that's, again, exactly how our future radar said this thing was going to play out. And there's your tornado warning that continues in effect for Madison County and into extreme southern and southeastern parts of Clark County. So the strongest part of that storm is now passing its way through and just to the south of downtown Richmond. Boy, it's close here. It's getting close into the southern part of the bypass here, and that's right on top of the campus, I believe, of EKU. And that continues to make its way on through. There's Madison Central High School. Here's EKU. So yeah, worst of this storm is just to the south of downtown Richmond. That is working its way toward Lake Reba, and then eventually we'll head into Estill County coming up here very shortly. So our tornado sirens are going off again. Worst of this is right on top of Richmond and points just to the south. Pumpkin Run Road, that's a new one. And this is over toward Gibson Bay down here, right? So very close to that is where we're dealing with the worst of this storm. And for that, what that white is, the radar is saying, I think this can be producing some hail. And generally, that's when we would be looking at for a little bit of spin as well. But you can see some of the areas that are included in this. And this is the bypass, the southern part of the bypass here into Richmond. So again, very close to the campus of EKU and zipping its way on through. Downtown Richmond is dealing with this. And again, our sirens are blaring here. And that's going to continue to work its way across the city of Richmond, moving at 55 to 60 miles an hour. So at that speed, Richmond, in about 2 minutes, that thing is, the worst of it is to your east. It's heading toward Lake Reba and then zipping more toward the Estill County line. And that is rolling its way toward the 52 area and will eventually cross into sections of Estill County. So that tornado warning now looks like it's been, that goes into parts of Winchester. And then, nope, it has been extended. Tornado warning into Estill County and into Powell County. So essentially, we're seeing the same script play out. That's what we just had. Tornado warning for Madison County, then it's extended into Estill County and into Powell County. So same thing. That's what just happened. So we've had back-to-back storms that are moving over the same areas of the region. Madison County, Estill County, and then now to Powell County with that tornado warning that is out. And that is until 6:15 for Estill and Powell. So that's got a 30-minute lifespan with that particular warning. And again, it is for this cell that is making its way just south of Richmond, south of the 52 area. That's going to roll into northern parts of Estill County, will clip southern Clark County, and then into Stanton and Clay City. So it was these same areas where we just had tornado warnings. Sirens had taken a little break, and now they're going to flare right back up on us. So we got to be on guard, and we're going to be hitting our storm shelters again. We're going to be hitting those basements. And if we're in a mobile home in these areas, we want to get out of there. Mobile homes are no match for straight line winds, let alone a tornado. And doesn't have to be a powerful tornado by any stretch of the imagination. That can be only producing 60, 70 mile an hour winds, Jim, and mobile home is no match for winds of 70 miles an hour or better.
It can be lifted, turned, tossed around, and that's one thing that we saw with the tornadoes earlier on this week. The devastation that they had in the trailer park there with the one mobile home on top of another. I mean, so it does happen, and it can happen with that. Those came in 90 plus miles per hour and just tossed them around, no problem. You get the right wind at 60 miles per hour, hit it at the right way, and it can do the same thing. That's the thing. what we run into with straight line winds and tornadic winds. The big difference is straight line is what you would imagine it would be. It's straight, coming straight at you, and just like the wind that blows every day. But a tornado is that violently circulating column of air that can lead to devastation, and was very well the cause of what we had out there tonight across parts of western sections of Kentucky. So we are continuing to monitor that and monitor what's happening in our immediate area too. You can see what we have on the First Alert radar network. We're in Estill County with the warning. The storm isn't even there yet, but they're jumping out and get ahead of it. It'll be there soon enough. So from Estill into Powell County, another tornado warning. You had a severe thunderstorm warning that was kind of taking the place then of all of it, but now you had the upgrade to a tornado warning. So that's what we're tracking now out of Madison County going into Estill and Powell counties. Severe thunderstorm warning that goes all the way out into Morgan County. So right along that line. Another issue I'm concerned about, flooding, flash flooding all along this area. So be prepared for that as well. So you've got the severe weather element to think about. You've got that to think about. This is our pattern this morning, one right after the other, with repeat showers and thunderstorms that are passing over parts of central and eastern portions of Kentucky with severe weather elements too. Now I'm going to go back down south because I'm going to watch this, because at any time we're going to pop some warnings. Let me grab my pen. We're gonna spark some warnings right around here soon, I believe, because of what's coming in from Tennessee and what's already in Kentucky at the moment. We'll likely see some warnings come in for folks like out in Wayne County, into Adair County, again, Russell County. You get to Pulaski County. This will be another area. What type of warning, we'll have to wait and see, but that will be coming very soon to that area. So we have to keep on every aspect of Kentucky, every part of the Commonwealth. We have to keep watching closely to see exactly what's happening. There you see the tornado warning that we've been tracking through Madison County, going over into Estill and Powell counties. Right now, this particular cell, so far we haven't confirmed any reports of a tornado touching down with this particular cell, because this is one of the late bloomers, but we're still monitoring for that development, and it's strong enough to where it could certainly be that way, just an isolated spin up.
Yeah, I got a little bit of wind damage there in the Red House area of Madison County. See a tree that is blocking a roadway near exit 95 there on Interstate 75. So that's probably going to cause some traffic backups on 75. You got a tree down near exit 95 there into Madison County.
Severe weather continues here tonight in our coverage. We'll keep rolling right along with it, so we try to keep you updated on what's happening out there, and it's rough in spots.
It is, and it's been unfortunately a historic night for tornadoes. This is a full-blown tornado outbreak across Kentucky with multiple fatalities into western Kentucky. Governor Beshear has already been up and had a press conference just a little bit ago to address what has happened overnight. And if you're just joining us, Mayfield into Graves County into western Kentucky was devastated, took a direct hit from what is likely a major tornado, and at least 50 fatalities we're being told as of right now. So, and Jim, as we know, you don't get the full scope of everything until the sun comes up.
And what?
Yeah, we're in the Mayfield area. Dozens of those fatalities, Jim, were at a factory, a candle factory,
yes,
that just collapsed. Was no match for a tornado. Because you know how factories are, the large open areas with a extended roof that's really high, and those are the areas you do not want to be in. Those are the exact areas you want to avoid.
And now we're hearing, of course, the report of that, most of them happening in that one facility.
Yeah, Graves, Hopkins, Warren County, Jim, we're being told the majority of the deaths. That includes Bowling Green, where they were hard hit by a tornado as well. And I think one of the underreported areas is going to wind up being Taylor County, where we're still getting a lot of reports. A lot of damage in Taylor County right now. I'm seeing on the statewide outage map for power outages, 61,000 customers without power. Yeah, customers. It doesn't mean individual people, but customers.
We have a new severe thunderstorm warning that came out. This is what we've been watching, Chris, from out of Tennessee to see what would happen, what would carry forward. It's a severe thunderstorm warning, McCreary, Pulaski, Wayne, and into Whitley counties. And now they've extended that Burkesville tornado warning, as you see, a little bit deeper into the Commonwealth as well. Let's get the specs.
So is that our tornado warning into Russell County
That's
now?
The one into Russell. Casey is also included, a little small sliver of Casey.
And that was the that's an extension, Jim, of this particular storm that is coming out of the Burkesville area. So what's effectively happening now is that anytime the Weather Service is seeing it's a line here, but anytime Weather Service is seeing just a little bit of a kink now, putting out a tornado warning. Obviously I can't say you blame them, because that's, we're here to save some lives, and this is a new tornado warning. This does include Russell Springs and Jamestown, gets into southern parts of the Casey County area, and this is, again, one of those systems, Jim, that's far enough away from all radars that the beams kind of overshoot everything.
Makes it very difficult.
Makes it difficult to get a good look at the low levels of the storms that are down here. So anytime you see any little bit of a kink and the radar's not getting a good look at it, just throw out that tornado warning. Just get people's attention. So here into Russell Springs, into Jamestown, into Russell County, and a part of Casey County, we need to be in our storm shelters immediately with this potential tornado that is moving in from the Burkesville area. So it's moving toward right on top of Lake Cumberland, essentially. And this is one of many warnings that we have out across the region. And Jim, if you could hit the warning map just to kind of give an uncluttered view of all the current warnings that we have out. So we got in the yellow are severe thunderstorm warnings. In the red, those are tornado warnings. So we got 2 tornado warnings effectively. They go 3 technically. This is Madison County and then Estill County and Powell County, but it's really all the same storm. So we got that. Then we got the storms that are showing up here around Russell Springs and into southern parts of Casey County, and surrounded by numerous areas that are under severe thunderstorm warnings. The green are flash flood warnings. Flash flooding is something we're going to have to contend with for several more hours, and you may see additional counties that are added to this. So you've got tornado warnings in red, you got severe thunderstorm warnings in the yellow, and then the flash flood warnings in the green. Here are your tornado warnings into Russell County. It's a small part of Casey County. If you're watching us now into Pulaski County, into Wayne County, over into Whitley and McCreary, those are severe thunderstorm warnings. Severe thunderstorm warning into Taylor County, into Casey County, into Adair County,